The organizers I got in when I was in class 8. Yes. So hiyo time ilikuwanga tu kukunywa dawa inaisha, then inarudi, kukunywa dawa inaisha, then inarudi. Then afterwards, sasa ndo nikaanza ku-experience hiyo the fever, kuumwa na kichwa, lose of appetite, lose weight. Yes. So with time, I started realizing I'm different from others because of my hands. Now, the joint pain cannot do, like, zimeanza sasa the legs, I cannot, like, run, I cannot play. Yeah. Another challenge is, ati hiyo pesa kwenda kwa daktari, sometimes it's a challenge. Because you say you have to see a specialist.
Lupus is an autoimmune disease whereby it affects many parts of the body. Mixed connective tissues are a bit different in that you have multiple diseases in one. For example, you could have a patient with lupus, vitiligo, rheumatoid, scleroderma, all under one particular patient, yes.
I'd like people to understand that vitiligo is a disease and no one can do anything to cause the vitiligo. So it is not a curse, okay? Number 2, you cannot get it from someone else. It is not contagious.
When your body fights 3 invisible battles at once, every day is a test of strength. Conditions like vitiligo, lupus, and rheumatoid arthritis may look different, but they share one painful truth. The body turns against itself.
Vitiligo is loss of skin color. And there are many things that can cause loss of skin color, but in this situation, we're talking about loss of skin color in a situation where our main theory is that you're losing color because your body is attacking itself. So you have white blood cells in your body. They're supposed to defend your body against attack from the enemy, from bacteria, viruses. Those are the enemies for your body. But in vitiligo, now they go and attack the cells that form color in your skin, called melanocytes. And when they do that, they destroy them totally. And then you end up with loss of color, which we call vitiligo.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Behind the Diagnosis. This is where we listen, we learn, and we shine a light on the real stories of people living with autoimmune and rare conditions. I am your host, Esther Ashira. Today's story is one of courage and resilience. We meet Esther, who does not just live with 1, but 3 autoimmune conditions. Esther, thank you so much for joining us. Karibu sana on Behind the Diagnosis.
Asante.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Esther Njoki, but I prefer Esther Hadassah. Yes. What else? I live in Buruburu. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the last born, the family of 2 sisters and my mom. So yeah, like 4. What else?
Career-wise,
I did business administration. Right now I'm not working. In between jobs. Yes, but I used to volunteer for an organization for a leadership program. It's called Autoimmune Leadership Experience. I used to be the lead admin, but really I handed over to someone else. Yes.
So when was the last time you actively worked?
Sijakaa sana. Yeah, sijakaa sana. Yes.
Is it easy getting a job for you?
It's not easy. It's not easy. It has been a challenge because you see, thank God for the organization that I was working for. I was working from home. So the time that I needed to go to the office, maybe it's the time the certificates are being printed or t-shirts, like we used to sell merchandise. So those are the times that I used to go to the office. So zingine zote zilikuwa tu kwa hao. But now before that, getting a job, it wasn't easy because of the health issues. Yeah. For me, it has been hard. Kupata hiyo kazi. Then, ukishapata hiyo kazi, at times you are okay, the other times you are not okay. So like the other day we were talking and
before we even go there, I know we had an experience. Before we go there, I would like to know how were you as a child growing up?
I was very active. I used to love playing kwanza football sana, and I think hiyo ndo vitu zilikuwa zinanikosanisha na mama. Cause mi nilikuwa napenda mchezo. Like I could prefer playing than eating. So my mom and my aunt decided to take us, like me and my 2 sisters, to boarding school. So I was in class 4 at that time. So the boarding school that I was taken, it was cold. Uko Mount Kenya uko ndani. So I think hapo ndo vitu zilianza escalate. Yeah, but nikiwa mdogo I was very active.
So ulisema you went to boarding at
class 4.
Oh, at class 4.
Yes.
So you started having symptoms or issues with your health at that time?
Yeah.
Wow.
But before that, I used to be asthmatic. And my mom never knew that I used to be asthmatic. But it wasn't a big deal at that point, yes. Yeah.
Wow. So what were the first symptoms?
The first ones were joint pains. Huku kwa mkono. And at some point, vidole zikaanza kuturn, zikaanza kukua ni blue ama ni purple ama ni huku kwa vidole. So my mom was taken to the hospital. So I was just given some medicines za kureduce. Joto zilikuwa zinaanza kufura. So I was just given some painkillers, some medicines to reduce the pain and to ease. Then I went back to. But that time ilikuwa tu ile hosi tu ya the normal physician. It wasn't like a specialist. Yes.
Then when did you suspect that now it's becoming something else?
So it reached a point where visiting day, my mom came and akona like my hand ilikuwa ina turn. Like it wasn't going straight. Na sikuwa na realize. Yeah, like nilikuwa naona tu niko sawa. Then she was worried. So she called my aunt. My aunt is a nurse. So they decided to take me to a specialist. I think she was advised or something, I don't know. Because that time I was small. So I was taken to a specialist. He's called Dr. Weo. So Dr. Weo ndo aliniona. So we did some tests. Then the diagnosis came. But before that, it was the diagnosis I got when I was in class 8. Yes. So hiyo time ilikuwanga tu kukunywa dawa inaisha, then inarudi, kukunywa dawa inaisha, then inarudi. Then afterwards, sasa ndo nikaanza ku-experience hiyo the fever, kuumwa na kichwa, lose of appetite, lose weight. Yes. So with the doctor where we worked like sana, he was trying to explain to me what was happening. My aunt is a medic, so already for her she was explained for, then she knew what was happening. But me and my mom hatukuwa tunaradisha. So yeah, it took time. So he gave me some books, some magazines, leaflets to just read and to know what was happening. So at that time, najua ndo time kwa adolescence, like so much is happening. So with time, I started realizing I'm different from others because of my hands. Now the joint pain cannot do, like zimeanza sasa the legs, they cannot like run, they cannot play. Yeah.
So the first diagnosis was between the three.
I think it was the lupus, then rheumatoid, because Dr. Yossi, he's the one who specializes with the arthritis, all the arthritis. So he's also the one who knows about lupus. Yeah.
Wow. So vitiligo came in
Later. Yes, when I was in class 8.
Oh, when you were in class 8.
Yeah.
How was it like? How was your reaction then? Because I know you're still young, trying to understand life.
Yeah. Actually, it is my friends who told me, because it started with that part here. So I was just living my life. So my friends were like, kwani umepaka chalk hapa? So I'm like, hapana, mi niko tu sawa, si chalk. Then ikaanza kuspread kwa mapua. So yeah, I was taken to a casino. Unajua casino niko tau? Yes, I was taken there, I was given medicine. Then for Dr. Yo, he knew. He knew because I had to tell him because he's my doctor.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was given some cream. Then after some time, ikakuwa mingi. So hata ni kureduce, ina reduce.
Wow. Did it affect you?
Of course it did. My self-esteem went down. No, people started judging. Everyone, hakuwa nataka like, people, some people feel like vitiligo is contagious. So hata kushare vitu na wase, it was hard. No one wanted to like kunikaribia and stuff. My mom wasn't getting what was happening, so everyone was just living their own life. Hivi ndo imekuwa sasa, wacha tuikwe tu hivu. Yes.
But did it affect your social life? You say now your friends, did you lose friends? Or were there people who understood you?
No one understood me. Even myself, I wasn't understanding myself. So you can imagine the damage.
Yes. Wow. This is quite interesting. What has been your main challenge? Because there are people who it is rare to have 3 of them at a go, like autoimmune diseases. You'll meet someone who has lupus. You'll meet another person who has rheumatoid arthritis, and you meet another one who has vitiligo. How has it been? Because I know you are mentioning an experience like we're on call, and then in between our conversation, a flare. Something happens, you can't talk. Yeah. I was so worried. Mommy saying, I don't know what is even wrong with her. How has it been like handling every challenge on different days?
First of all, is acceptance. It's a journey. I won't say like nimefika bado. It's a journey. And I've learned to live a day at a time. I'll say not even a day, an hour at a time. Yes. Because there are moments where you have taken medicines for a long time, then the body gets used to the medicine. So inakata, ni kama ina resist. So you have to go to the hospital and get some, like akuchenjie dawa. And another challenge is, ati hiyo pesa kwenda kwa daktari, sometimes it's a challenge. Because you say you have to see a specialist. Of course, Kenyatta is affordable, but the long queue, and you won't see like specific doctor. Like ukienda huko ni pale faili yako itakuwa. So I'll say just trying to live an hour at a time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for medication, do you do for the 3 conditions? Like when you're taking medication, how is it like? Do you do it every day? Is it for the 3? Or is there any combined pill? I don't know. Just help us understand.
No, it's not combined. When one is diagnosed with lupus and arthritis or even vitiligo, first of all, the aim of the doctor is to manage the condition because it doesn't have cure. So we'll be given like a chunk of medicines, a lot of them. Then, kulingana na venye, mwili na respond, daktari anaenda kiredis. Yeah. So, for me, I started with a lot of medicines, then akaanza kureduce because your management lazima atry kumanage. It doesn't affect the kidneys, it doesn't affect the internal organs. So for arthritis you take separately, for lupus you take for the person who has lupus and it has affected the kidney, they take differently for lupus and for kidney. For arthritis, maybe and for vitiligo. But for me, I don't take for vitiligo. I stopped. Because at some point they weren't working. And a lot of people with vitiligo, they don't take medicine. Because you'll try radiotherapy, you think it is helping, then it spreads. You try medicine, for some it has really helped and the skin has come back to like the normal skin. But after some time, unaona tena inaanza kurudi. So, I just accepted the way I am. Nikasema, it is God's own art, wacha tusonge mbele. But for arthritis and lupus, I have to take. Because if I don't, I'll find myself in the hospital. Yes.
Your support system. Who are those that have surrounded you and they give you hope to keep living?
My mom, and thank God he gave me amazing friends. Because sometimes ni hard kupata hiyo dawa. Then you just tell them, mi nimelemewa hapa. Wanakuokolea, they get. And also having support groups, it has helped because you realize you're not the only one who is going through. Because me, when I was now from class 8 to Form 1 to high school, then to college, I used to think I'm the only one. And interestingly enough, in church, there's a lady who had vitiligo, but hers was worse than mine. So I used to tell my friends, hey, Mazudi anakaa poa. But they have embraced me in such a point that hawakuwa wananiambia, wewe umejiona, you get. But ukienda huko nje, ndio utarealize people are staring, people are gossiping. So my support system has been amazing. Yes.
Do you think people still stigmatize
vitiligo
even now?
Yes.
What would you like to tell them?
I'll prefer you come and ask me than me hearing.
Yeah.
Mkinisengenya hapo, I'll frankly tell you what is happening.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't stare. Of course, you cannot prevent people from staring, but hata ukistare, like, don't be direct. Stare na mpango.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Like you've had vitiligo for how long now?
17 years.
17 years. And still people haven't gotten to know what this condition, there are people who don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Is it that we don't create awareness, or what do you think? Because by now, and you're not the first one to have vitiligo, that means it's been there. But many people have very little knowledge about it.
I think it's just being ignorant or watu tu wataki kujua.
Yeah.
But until ikufikie, no, that's the time you'll start making those changes and getting information. Yeah.
But I thank God you have a good support system.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also having support groups. I hope that like there's no one out there suffering alone, and yet there are support groups.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. They should just join and be encouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your story is interesting. And I am happy that you can be bold enough to just come and talk to us about vitiligo, about lupus, about arthritis. I don't know what message you love to pass to anyone. Maybe someone has just been diagnosed. Maybe someone has just realized that they have the 3 autoimmune, or even 4, who knows, or 2, or even 1, but they are crushed. What would you tell them? Because there is something that keeps you going, that you can encourage someone to hold on to that hope.
First of all, for me, God has helped me. If it couldn't have been for God, I don't know where I could have been. Because at some point, pia depression ikakuja, you get. So, for the person who has been diagnosed like recently, just know it's not the end of the world. I know it's easy said than done, but just take us one step at a time. Take your medicines. At first it will be hard, but as you continue to take your medicines, at some point phase of medicines, you won't feel like taking them, but just take them. There are some support groups, like for vitiligo, there's royal patches. For lupus, like there are so many of them right now. And yeah, just hanging there and put God first.
Yeah.
Yeah. In whatever you believe in. You know, not everyone believes in God.
Yeah.
But just know that me personally, I'm reachable. I've tried to reach out to a couple of people and I've seen it has worked. So yeah. And if you have vitiligo, usikose kutumia sunscreen. It will help you. It will help you in your sun from cancer. And yeah, don't stop using sunscreen. And if you have medication, don't stop. It works. We may have the same condition, but we are not given like medicines this, like one medicine for, it's different. So that means every body is different and it works differently. So usione huyu yake anaendelea vizuri na just take one step at a time. Yeah.
Yeah. Who would you like to appreciate?
First of all, God and my friends. There's a mention.
Yeah, mention them. Appreciate them.
There's Natalie, there's my praise and worship team. All of them.
You in praise and worship?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
My mom and yes, and Maggie. There's a friend who is called Maggie. She has really come through for me. Yeah.
God bless them.
God our bless. Sana. Amen.
Amen. Wow. That's interesting. Would you like to give your number? Are you free? If there's anyone who would love to reach out to you, maybe for support, encouragement, are you free?
To give out my number. Okay.
You're free?
Yeah. Okay, my number is 0723 173917.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can reach out to Esther. Esther, thank you.
Thank you
so much for being here. And thank you even for the courage to just share your story with the world. because you never know who is watching.
True.
Yeah, you never know who needed to hear this. You never know who will want to even just say a prayer for you, any support. Monetary, prayer, and encouragement, it goes a long way. So I really appreciate you and I wish you well. I am praying that God touches you and just continue lifting you up, even with the hope and the courage you have so that you don't give up.
Check this.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate.
Esther's story reminds us that autoimmune conditions are not just medical. They affect every part of life. To help us understand them better, we turn to the experts.
My name is Eugene Genga. I'm a physician and rheumatologist. I practice at the University of Nairobi, rheumatology. For those who rheumatology does, is rheumatology deals with the science of autoimmune diseases. So what are autoimmune diseases? These are very special diseases whereby the immune system are the body's defense cells. Instead of protecting you, they're fighting you. Autoimmune diseases have a different, they look at autoimmune diseases. We have joint issues, we have connective tissue. Vitiligo falls under skin, connective tissue. So vitiligo is whereby the pigment is lost. The pigment is what have the black melanin on the skin. Lupus is a bit different. Lupus is an autoimmune disease whereby it affects many parts of the body. Mixed connective tissue is a bit different in that you have multiple diseases in one. For example, you could have a patient with lupus, vitiligo, rheumatoid, scleroderma, all under one particular patient, yes. It's not that common, to be honest. We don't have enough data locally, but if we compare the data outside the world, it's not that common. The science is that the genes that are in charge, the genes that bring about the autoimmune disease are very similar. So if you have a dysregulation in the gene function, you can actually end up having different diseases in one particular patient. So but it's not a common thing, to be honest, yes. So for Esther, it's unfortunate. When we have a mixed connective tissue disease, that any part of the body can be affected. Whether it's the skin, whether it's the heart, it's the kidney, the brain, they can be affected one in isolation or multiple organs at the same time. So usually when you have those sort of combinations, the outlook is what usually the best. If found late, sometimes patients come a bit late. So the earlier you get the diagnosis, the better. But also polypharmacy, because different organs require different forms of treatment. That also has other issues with money, financial implications and all that, because the tests are very expensive. The medicine also very expensive. Yes. So how do you decide the treatment plan for this particular set of patients? It's normally a very difficult one. What you normally do is see what is the major organ that's been involved. For example, if you have more of skin and joint, we have drug A, usually methotrexate works very well there. If you have more of skin and tissue, more of mycophenolate. But in case you are in a scenario whereby it's very many organs, it's very critical, you may need to bring in what we call the big guns. We have these things called biologics. These are targeted therapies. For example, you have things like rituximab, some call immunoglobulins, which are options which you can use for this particular subset of patients. Are there triggers for this particular condition? I think it'd be better to look at triggers in autoimmune disease generally. Autoimmune diseases are still an enigma for us, not just locally but also internationally. There are a lot of theories, this and that. But generally, triggers involve infections. Viral infections can do that. We've seen a bit of a surge of some of those tests, especially post-COVID. Not directly, but we assume can be there. Other triggers would include things like hormonal changes. We see a bit of peaks, especially around menopause, pregnancy period also, around the first period, that can be there. Environment is a bit tricky because in an environment, they say, yes, in the test we say it's there, but to be honest, it's a bit tricky. Stress they say is a trigger, though I wouldn't call it a trigger per se. I think something that just makes the disease just worse at that particular time. So probably the patient had the symptoms before. When they get the stress, the symptoms now seem to be worse at that particular time. Yeah. So any lifestyle adjustments, I think the first thing is accepting. Usually our patients have difficulty accepting. We all think that it's a lifestyle disease and all that. Yes, lifestyle has a role, but it's not a complete lifestyle disease alone. So simple things are, first of all, you must take your medicines, peer instructions with your doctor. Number 3, diet. Yes, not lifestyle, but we encourage you to have a healthy diet. There have been some small studies that have shown benefits of antioxidant diets, things like the fruits, the vegetables, the vitamin C, vitamin E. These patients who tend to have low calcium also, so we encourage them to take more milk, more sukuma wiki, green vegetables, help with that. Exercise is something which we fight a lot with our patients. One of the major symptoms is fatigue. And from all the research done out there, nothing really improves fatigue apart from what? Exercise. And exercise are very simple. As taking 3 days a week, walking 30 minutes is just enough as you build up from there. Other things are sun protection. Some of these diseases are worsened by the sun exposure. So we usually recommend at least sunscreen or sunblock. The strength at least 30% and above usually should be enough for this subset of patients. Yes. In terms of accessibility of this particular medicine, yes, it's tough. We are not very many rheumatologists. That's number 1. We have one of my colleagues is in Eldoret, another is in Kisumu, another in Mombasa, and the rest in Nairobi, and not very many, about 10 or 11. But also, a number of these medicines are not part of the formulary, of the government formulary. So usually our patients suffer in terms of getting this particular medicine. So it's just maybe a plea to the government to try and see if these drugs can be more readily available to our patients in the rural areas, yes. Is there hope for remission or treatment? Yes. I mean, if they got a cure for lupus, anything is possible. I know sometimes when you start, patients get very discouraged because you start with so many medicines. They've probably gone to so many doctors. They've had a poor quality of life and everything. They've been told they've been witchcraft and all those things. But there's lots of hope. There's lots of hope. If you look out there, the amount of research going on out there is fascinating. We have a better understanding of the science of the disease. And knowing the science of the disease means that we're able to produce medicine that targets those pathways that are potentially causing the disease.
I am Dr. Karen Waithera. I'm a dermatologist. I currently practice in Kenyatta, where you can find me almost every day. And I also run private practice as well.
So in simple terms, what is vitiligo?
Okay. Vitiligo is loss of skin color. And there are many things that can cause loss of skin color, but in this situation, we're talking about loss of skin color in a situation where our main theory is that you're losing color because your body is attacking itself. So you have white blood cells in your body. They're supposed to defend your body against attack from the enemy, from bacteria, viruses. Those are the enemies for your body. But in vitiligo, now they go and attack the cells that form color in your skin, called melanocytes. And when they do that, they destroy them totally. And then you end up with loss of color, which we call vitiligo. But then we have other theories as to what happens with vitiligo, depending on the pattern that you come in with. For example, if you come in with a pattern where we're only seeing loss of color on one part of the body, like a segmental vitiligo, where maybe it's just following a nerve, maybe just one part of the face is the one that is affected, then it could be because it's following that nerve and there are toxins that are being produced that are causing loss of color in that area. So the theories are many. There could also be convergence of the theories where all of them come together, but vitiligo is basically loss of color in the skin because your body is attacking itself.
There are many misconceptions around vitiligo. What is it that you would like people to understand?
Okay. I'd like people to understand that vitiligo is a disease and no one can do anything to cause the vitiligo. So it is not a curse. Okay. Number 2, you cannot get it from someone else. It is not contagious. The other thing is that, yes, it can be inherited, but that is not the common way of getting it. That is very rare. Out of 100 people who have vitiligo, maybe only 20 or even less will have inherited it from other people in the family. So it doesn't have to be that someone else in the family had vitiligo. Maybe they had another autoimmune condition. Maybe they had a thyroid disease or diabetes, the type 1 that you get in childhood. Yeah, so let's just understand that it is a disease and we need to treat the disease. It's not something for you to stigmatize someone about.
And you've had Esther's story. She said at some point how she stopped taking medication for vitiligo. Does it affect her? Is it okay? Is it something that if you were to advise her to continue, or what will you say?
Okay. Well, you see, it's understandable why someone will feel like they don't want to take the medication anymore, because especially in her condition, she has 3 autoimmune conditions, and I can imagine that she has a lot of pills that she's taking on a daily, and the pill burden by itself, so people come and tell you it's like I have a jug of njugus that I'm taking every day just to treat my condition. And also there's the matter of cost. Then there's also just fatigue. You're just tired because maybe you're not seeing improvement. Maybe the improvement is slow, so you can understand why that would happen. So when it comes to treatment of vitiligo, you have to tailor your treatment for your patient. You discuss your treatment goals. What do they want for their skin? What do you feel like is achievable for their skin? And then now you determine what kind of treatment you want to go for. So not everyone with vitiligo will be on the same kind of treatment. In fact, some people who have a lot of vitiligo on their body actually go for a treatment where now we remove color on the few areas where you have remaining color, so that now all your color is uniform. Okay. So treatment is tailored. But in a situation where you're having multiple autoimmune diseases, where your body is attacking itself, then it's best that we find treatment that will target most of the diseases together. And that way then you can take few pills that target everything together and you won't feel like you're getting fatigue over time with the medication.
What kind of support do you give to your patient? Is it just pills, or is there anything else? Because I know it comes with stigma and so many other things. Do you go an extra mile?
So the first thing you have to notice about something like vitiligo is that the social impact is huge. And therefore, if you don't provide any psychosocial support, you won't get anywhere with that patient. So you have to provide psychosocial support not only for your patient, but also for their caregivers, who are their primary caregivers, because they'll be putting things in their mind that maybe you don't think are true. And that's what you need to control for. So either you provide the psychotherapy, or if that is available as well, you can also send them to a counselor who can help them with that. Another thing is support groups are very important, but in your support group, you have to make sure that there is a medical professional in that support group, so that at least you're getting correct information in the support group. Okay. And then we also usually have vitiligo awareness activities. There's a Vitiligo Awareness Day, Vitiligo Awareness Month, and the Association of Dermatologists in Kenya is trying to get active about such things. So let's hope that at least we can disseminate more information, not only to the patients, but then also to the general community, so that we have less stigma for the condition.
Wow, that's quite insightful. Esther represents many people who are probably going through the same thing. And I would like you to say something to Esther, considering that Esther is just a representation of the many people who are probably going through the same thing. What do you say?
What I will say to Esther is you have walked a tough journey from a very tender age. And what I hear when you're telling your story is that you have walked this journey with people, with your community, with your doctors, and that is a good thing. and fatigue may kick in, but don't get tired just yet. Continue walking the journey because from what I can see on your skin, it appears like you're improving. So continue walking the journey.
Wow.
It's tough. I know it's tough, especially in the beginning. It's not an easy time. All I can say is just be encouraged. Be encouraged. Because the tough times will end. In the beginning, I know the medicines are many. You're a bit overwhelmed by the information and everything. But I think having an open conversation with your doctor helps. And number two, in terms of education, please Google, read. I know some people have that mentality that you go near daktari. So I'm not supposed to read up and see what exactly is there. But when you're Googling, also make sure you Google the right information. So always consult with their doctor. Number three, just more of support. There's a lot of stigmatization. People can't understand why this patient is always tired. But also socially, some of these like lupus or vitiligo have skin issues. So especially in the age where people are a bit more cautious about appearance, there was a lot of isolation from the outside world. So just be encouraging them and just be with them through that particular time. And imagine things get better. Things get better. In the beginning, normally it's rough the first few months, but things get better. Yes.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ali. That's quite insightful and really appreciate your time. So if someone wants to see you, where can they find you? You mentioned that you have a private clinic. Where can you be found?
Okay. I'm in KNH Doctors Plaza every single day, every weekday in the morning. So they can find me there.
Awesome.
Usually 2 areas. Either I'll be teaching at the university. I teach at the University of Nairobi. When I'm free, I go to the rheumatology clinic there, or I'm at my private practice in Upper KMI Center.
Esther's journey shows us that while the battle may be invisible, the strength it takes to face them is undeniable. Living with vitiligo, lupus, and rheumatoid arthritis is not easy, but stories like hers remind us that resilience, community, and awareness make all the difference. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and follow us on all our social media pages. Let's keep raising awareness and standing with warriors everywhere. And remember, every story matters and every voice deserves to be heard.